What I want to talk to you guys about is creativity. Now, what is creativity? Creativity is being able to come up with good ideas and a stream of ideas, which means a lot of different ideas, you know? And what I want to talk about is what scientists in the future can do for creativity, you know? And what I want to talk about exactly is that which is a way to make people more creative, you know? I don't know, this is just an idea I have. You know, the thing what I want to talk about is that when you turn on the radio and listen to a song, when you watch a movie, you know, when you eat food, you know, at least for me, and I know for most people on a day on an average basis, you know, is that the food is that what you like is enjoyable, but it's not as good as it could be, you know, because that's one thing that's so true about that's one thing that's so true about it, you know, is that at least for me, I know definitely for me, I've watched many very good movies. I've watched, listened to a lot of very good songs, but I've never listened to something that was perfect, you know. And what I want to talk about is what scientists could do to make it, I don't know, to enhance the human ability, you know, to do things better, you know. And that's the thing, you know, is that because that's the thing about it, you know, is that it's really hard to do. Like, even look at the best people, you know, like the best movie directors, the people who are considered the best artists of all time, you know, like you look at their stuff, it looks really good, you know, if you watch a good movie, it has a really good script, but you never find something not just the ultimate quality, you know, because that's the thing, you know, is that I've listened to many very good songs, and I think that's the thing about human beings is that some people, a lot of people in the world, there's only so far they can actually go, you know? Like, there's just a limit to how good they could do, you know? No matter what, you know? Even if they practice a ton, you know? Because it's just hard, you know? To be able to create something not just the ultimate quality, you know? Like, just look up movie reviews online, you know, TV shows, just, you know, songs. And when you look at the reviews, it's never like really good. It's never like perfect, you know? Like, that's the thing, you know, is that I'm realistic. I know you can't satisfy everybody because people have different taste in things, you know? For example, I'm sure most of you guys have been around someone, they like something, it tasted really good to them, but to you it tasted awful. Because that's the thing, you know, is that people have different styles. So what I like, someone else won't like, and what they like, I won't like. At least for, you know, just like that, you know, people are different, you know. But at least for the demographic you're trying to get at, you know, for whatever target demographic you're trying to get at, you can make the best quality possible, you know? You can make the best quality possible. Maybe there is someone who actually is able to make something that's perfect, but the thing is that, like the perfect song, the perfect plot for like a movie, whatever, you know. But the thing about it is that that's very rare to find. I've been around in my life. I've never seen anything that was on that level, you know. that was on that level, you know. And if there is people who could do that, all I know is those people are very rare to find. Another problem with that is that even if, even if there's people capable of that, it would take a shitload of fucking time to be able to do that shit. It really fucking would. It would take, man, that would take a really long time, That would take a really long time. To be able to do. And I'm no scientist, I'm just pointing that out here. I'm no scientist, I wanna take a science course, but it's gonna take some time, but from what I know is that the part of the brain that's responsible for creativity is centered in the right brain, it's in the right area of the brain, it's the part of the brain, it's centered in the right part of the brain that's responsible for creativity. I don't, and that's what I'm talking about is we can possibly stimulate it to have a greater potential, you can say make it stronger, make it more developed, whatever, that's, and like I said before, I'm no scientist, but this is my theory of what we could do. The things what we could do is maybe we could use electrical stimulation, electrical stimulation, because apparently they're doing that, with people to make people smarter, and apparently it's worked a bit, maybe we could use electrical stimulation, another thing we could do is maybe we can give people medication, medication, medication. Another thing we could do is maybe we could use stem cells and regrow the part of the, the specific, because it's not just the whole right brain, probably not, but there's a certain part of it that's responsible for it specifically, for creativity, the main part, whatever, And what we could do is maybe we could create stem cells to recreate that brain tissue, and just perform a surgery. I don't know really. Like I said, I don't know really. Like I said before, I'm not a scientist, because that would take I'm not a scientist, I want to get education to do something like that, but at the moment I don't have the ability to do something like that, it's going to take some time, to be able to do that, to be able to do that, but what are the benefits of this, well, the first one, about it, the benefit, which obviously probably everybody would know, I know most people would know this, is that you get better quality things, since the brain has a greater capability, it can reach the ultimate level, as long as you practice enough, it has a higher capability, reaching the ultimate level, you could, reaching the ultimate level, so you could have better quality things, perfect looking clothing, perfect songs on the radio, perfect, or you could just say perfect music, movies, TV shows, food, etc. Just a wide variety of things, that you could do. The second benefit that it could have is the amount of money you would make, because that's the thing that's so true, is that just a known fact. When you produce something of higher quality, you know, people are gonna use up more money to spend on it, you know. For example, let's just say you go to a store, you know, you want clothing, I don't know, you're in like like there's two different stores you go to. You go to one store, where they have a few good looking clothing, you know, um, so you buy a couple of things, I don't know, they just have good looking clothing, not as good, and you have another store that has the second store I want to mention that has the best looking clothing, you're more likely to you're more likely to spend more money, be willing to pay for something that looks better. Like if you have like a shirt, I don't know, like a sweater, that's like $100 and doesn't even look that good, you're gonna buy it. But if something's like $100 and it looks just amazing, you're more likely to buy it, and if people are able to come up with this stuff more frequently, you're going to be more likely to buy more clothing at the store, if you see a lot of clothing that looks really good, Another example, if you don't get that one, is that let's just say you go to a restaurant, you go to one restaurant, the food is okay, maybe like a 3.8, anything really that special, like a 3.8 out of 5, nothing really extraordinary, so since the food, so you eat like a certain amount. On the other hand, you go to there's another restaurant you go to, and the food is just delicious. It's very good. Just delicious. Which one are you more likely to eat more food at, Because that's the thing, what I know about people, is that people, when they go to places where they have really good food, it's just a known fact. People eat more, people eat more, so as a result, they spend more money, they spend more money, stuff like that, it doesn't have to be like a restaurant. It could just be like one of those fast food chains. Are more likely to go there more often, because the food's so good, so it benefit the economy, For one, people who produce those things would make more money, because they're producing a better quality product, and more money would be spent. And, we have something called taxes, and since they're spending more money, more taxes, would go to I don't know really the financial system, but all I know is that if people are buying more, it would definitely benefit the economy. The economy would make a lot more money, it'd be very prosperous, so there's just so many things you could benefit from it. It's ridiculous, that's what I'm thinking, I'm not sure if this would work. Maybe it's not possible. Most likely it is. I'm no scientist, but if it is possible, to do something that could stimulate it to have a higher capability, it definitely, like everybody would benefit from it. It would be ridiculous, man. It would be ridiculous, man. It just would be just really good, and like I said, for people who don't understand this idea, just like the whole intelligence things, like scientists have been talking about making people more intelligent, And that's the thing is, I don't know exactly how they would do it, you know. Maybe they would make like the signals in the brain go around quicker, you know, so that people catch on to things more quickly. It could also be being able to develop more solve more complex things, you know. I don't know how they would do that, you know. I don't really know these things. But it's kind of like that, you know. Just finding a way to make people reach a higher level than they were previously capable of doing, you know. At least that's what I'm thinking, you know. What we could do in the future, you know. To make people more creative, you know. It goes along with, it goes along with the whole intelligence thing, you know. Because that's the amazing thing about science, you know, is that people, like, for example, someone who has an IQ of 150, you know, if they take the time, you know, and to put the effort, they might be able to find a way to make themselves have an IQ of like 250, you know, over time, you know. So it's interesting how how it could be capable of people, you know. So this proves that it's possible for people being able to reach a higher limit than they were previously capable of doing, you know, in the past, you know. So that's my idea, you know. I don't know if it's possible. I just want to share it, you know. So I don't know, just so it's possible that someday this could happen. You know, it's most likely going to happen at some point. And that's my idea, and that's all I have to say for now.